Hello and welcome to Bowtie Life. In this video, we are going to talk about collecting some of the easiest seeds that you can imagine. Very easy to collect, and they're not the easiest because we have that coming up here in another video shortly. Let's take a look at 3 reasons why I want to collect my seeds and a couple of things that you'll need to know before you do that.
Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave.
Now, before we get into this video, I want to share just a few reasons why I really like to save seeds. The first thing is it saves money. We all need to save some money. It's a nice thing to do. We actually have more money for other things. And I actually bought the seeds for these. I bought a pack from M.I. Gardener and I bought a pack from Seed Saver Exchange. And they were cheap. I thought they were fairly priced, but if I want to grow these year after year after year, I don't want to have to buy those seeds. Now you say, oh, what's a $2 to $4 packet of seeds? Well, it's not just this $2 to $4 packet of seeds. It's the tomatoes, the 3 kinds of tomatoes we want to grow, the 12 kinds of hot peppers, the cucumbers, the cantaloupe, the watermelon, everything that we want to grow in the garden, the flowers. And it adds up. Our first year doing this, we spent well over $200 on seeds alone. And that was just seeds for a 14-foot patio, folks. $200. Yeah, we spent a lot of money, more than we should have. But if you can save your seeds, you can save a lot of money over the years. That's the first reason. The second reason is that when you save your seeds have grown in your environment, and they're used to your environment. They're used to growing in your heat, in your cool, in your light, in your watering habits. They're growing accustomed to how you grow things. And the seeds that come from the produce that you grow will be better in your garden. So the third and final reason I like to save my seeds is just basic self-reliance. I don't rely on other people, the availability of products to grow my Hill Country red okra that Mrs. Bowtie and I love so much. And we do love it so much. And we have our own seeds. I've saved seeds for years. In fact, those 2 packets were for our first 2 years of gardening. We've grown from from the collected seeds from those packets for the past 3 years now. So we haven't bought these seeds for 3 years. We're self-reliant on these. We have more than enough. I give these seeds away. I've given them to friends and neighbors. I sent one to another channel, Chad, over there at Backyard Down Home Gardening. I hope, or has planted some of mine, and he told me that they're already coming up. I'm very excited. But I love to be able to, just the gratification of being able to help others like that. Now there is a warning. So cost, adaptation, self-reliance. Those are the 3 big things. But there is a warning that I want to give you. We have to make sure that we're collecting the right kinds of seeds. And what I mean by that is you'll see on these packets and on these plants whether they're an heirloom or not. They might be an heirloom or a hybrid. And so if you have heirloom plants, the great thing about heirloom plants is you can save those seeds all your life, and they're going to be the same year after year after year. And that's very nice. Hybrids are a little different. Hybrids are a combination of 2 different plants, and they're engineered. I say engineered, not GMO engineered. They're the guys who cross-pollinated, selected 2 different types to cross-pollinate and create that particular type of whatever it is. Very common in tomatoes, peppers, a lot of plants. These here are heirlooms. What happens is if you save seeds from a hybrid, when you plant that seed, it might come out true, but more likely it's going to come out true, which means the fruit that you had before is going to be the same taste, same color, same size, same everything. It might, but more likely it's going to come out looking and tasting more like one of the two parents that created that hybrid. And so we're not talking GMO. This is not unhealthy stuff. This is still healthy food. It happens naturally in nature all the time. But when you're dealing with heirloom produce, you know that seed's going to come back just the way you grew it the previous year. So just a few things to keep in mind. Now let's go outside and cut these two pods right here. Yeah, let's back in time. Now I believe I already said we grew Texas Hill it's Hill Country Red Okra. Doesn't have the word Texas in it. Now I will point out there's actually a little shoot up there with a couple of dried okra that we're not going to touch, but I wanted to show you over here, and I'll explain why I'm not touching that. See, over here we have this whole head of okra pods, and this is gorgeous. You'll notice that these bottom ones are starting to split, and this is optimal. In fact, you can see right there, you can actually see the seeds in there already. And these are the ones that I am wanting to collect and add to my seed store for next year. Seed store. I don't sell seeds, my seed storage for next year. And see how tough that is? It's best to have some cutters, obviously. So I have already put down my cutters. I'm going to cut those. They are getting dry and tough, that's for sure. But here we go. Woo! My old cutter's just not cutting it, are they? I think I may need to sharpen these things. Come in the top there. There we go. There's one pod. That is a beautiful piece of future crops. And finally comes after cutting them down, and I do like to wait till they're nice and split like this. Now I did cut one the other day. You can see that one looks pretty well split, but when I rolled it over, it looks real green. So I'm going to let this one dry a little longer. But what I do is I have a place in the window behind me where I keep a few seeds. In fact, you've seen some of the other videos if you watch along. And if you haven't seen the other videos, please do subscribe so you don't miss the videos that we're doing. We talked about collecting watermelon seeds. That's easy. You got to eat the watermelons. Oh my. We talked about not long ago collecting zinnia seeds. And zinnia seeds are awesome. They have a lot of benefits for the garden. But there's thousands of seeds on this little plate right here. And I've even worked on trying to save carrot seeds. I haven't had a lot of success with those, which is why you haven't seen a video on carrot seeds yet. One of these days I'm going to do it. You can search back through our over 600 videos and take a look at some of those other things that we have done videos on. And if you have saved seeds, comment below in the comments what kind of seeds you've saved. And if you have any questions or other experiences you want to share, please put them in the comments. I love hearing from y'all. I love answering and having conversation with y'all as well. So please feel free to do that. But I just wanted to show you. Now, some plants are easier to collect seeds than others. Tomatoes are a little tricky. There's a video on that. I'll see if I can find it and link it in the description below. But okra, now I've actually done okra. Okra is a fun one to collect seeds from. And as you go in through here, this one is dry. And I'll actually leave them on the plant until they look like this most of the time. Mrs. Bowtie and I are about to get embroiled in our big project, and I'm going to have to cut a few of those early. We'll share that project with y'all at a later date. So again, subscribe so you don't miss that if you haven't done so already. And catch that video when it comes, because I think there will be some things of interest. But anyway, when they're dry like this, you can hear it cracking, right? And you simply pull it apart like that. And you can see the seeds falling on this recycled plate, by the way. I've been using these paper plates for, I want to say I've been using these paper plates for about 4 years. But I just use them for the next year, and then I stack them up. But you'll notice that the seeds come in these chambers. And if I open this up, you can see there's a row of seeds in that chamber right there. And there, when it's dry like this, they literally just fall out. Now, this is not totally dry. So I'm going to leave these seeds in this plate a little longer until they do get totally dry. And I'll go through all the pods here, and I will just literally pull apart each chamber like that, drop the seeds in here, and this plate will be full of seeds before this bowl right here is done and all the seeds out there are done. But it's very easy, folks. This is the seed. This is the seed that you buy from the seed company. You let this dry. You'll actually notice that these will shrink a little bit, and that's perfectly okay. That's what seeds do. They dry out. They preserve the genetic information of its parent so that next year you can grow them again. Self-sufficiency. Isn't that awesome? Now, as I continue to harvest these seeds out of these pods, I said there were 2 warnings that need to be kept in mind. Of course, number 1, the hybrid, the hybrid heirloom situation. And you want to be sure that you're doing heirlooms, which is one of the reasons why a lot of people, a lot of experienced farmers will only focus on heirloom plants. The other thing that you got to know, as you were watching this video back when I was about to cut those pods off the plant, I showed you that other plant that I wasn't going to touch. And the reason is that plant grew up in the section of seeds that I got from one of the seed selling companies, and it was a different kind of okra. It was not the Hill Country red okra. I don't know what it was. It was good, and if I was interested, I might harvest it, but I really like this okra, and so I'm going to stick with this okra, and so I'm not going to pick that one. Now, folks, it happens. You get a seed from a different kind in there occasionally. It just happens. Don't freak out about it. Don't go off on somebody, okay? Be the loving person that you are, and realize it's a different thing. Save it, cut it out if you need to, whatever. Don't worry about it. No matter what happens, you're going to have that happen from the absolute best seed companies in the world. So anyway, the 3 things: save money, adaptation of your plants to your garden, and self-reliance. Those are just 3 great reasons to save your own seeds. You can see here, this is hundreds and hundreds of seeds, probably close to 1,000 okra seeds here. This is way more. In fact, this is way more than I'm going to use next year. Way more, folks. This year, I only used 52 seeds. Now, I'm using a little more next year because we're doing something a little different. Subscribe so you don't miss that, because we're moving the bed. It's been in the same place for 2 years, and I'm putting it somewhere else. But anyway, I'm not going to need that many seeds, even with the new larger bed. I'm not going to need this many seeds. Period. I don't. And what do I do with the extra seeds? Well, I'll save some. I still have seeds from 2022, 2 years ago. I may have seeds from 3 years ago, but I think I used all those in 2022. I'm not sure. I still have 2023 seeds, and those 2023 seeds will work this year. They'll work next year. I'll probably plant half 2023 seeds and half 2024 seeds when the time comes next spring when we plant our okra for the year. So anyway, I encourage you. It's very gratifying to know that you can do this completely yourself once you learn how to collect the seeds, which, folks, how hard was that? It wasn't hard at all. Anybody can do that. Just a little bit of knowledge, you can collect your own seeds from all kinds of stuff out in the garden. And really, it comes down to kind of the final reason why I like to collect seeds. And this is the bonus reason we'll call it number 4. But it's very gratifying to know that I am self-reliant. I am able to do this. I'm learning how to do this. I didn't know how to do this 6 years ago, folks. And I'm learning. Every year I'm learning something a little new. And it's a wonderful feeling. It just makes me feel good in the garden. Thank you for subscribing. For those of you who have subscribed, I really, truly appreciate you, and can't tell you are my heroes. You've made Bowtie Life what it is today. And for those of you who send in the super thanks, thank you very much for that. And the funds that go through the super thanks go right back into the garden. Y'all have a blessed day.